Hello everyone, welcome to Why You're In There. Today we're going to change the rear wheel bearing hub on a 1995 Dodge Stratus RT with the 3.0 engine. But first I want to show you how you know your wheel bearing is bad. Sometimes it'll hum going down the road and it'll be a distinct sound. Mine is not humming. But I can feel a tire wobbling going down the road. It kind of feels like there's like rear steering and someone is in the back turning the wheel, And so I was already looking at it and I will show you how to check it first before I pull the tire off. So I'm going to get started here. Let me put the camera down real quick. So jack it up a little bit. Get the tire off the ground a little bit. Okay, so how you check it is just grab tire to either side and see that wobble in it. It may not be showing up much, but it's quite pronounced. Hopefully you can see that. But I'm going to set this back down on the ground so I can crack these lug nuts. And I'll show you another thing that tipped me off to it. So let me set this down real quick. All the way down. And compared to the front tire and all the rest of the other tires, they are in line with the body. See how they look straight up and down? Well, this one here, it's kind of caved in at the top. That's a good shot. You can see how it's tilted in at the top. So that wheel bearing is really shot. So I'm going to crack these lug nuts off. Get this tire off. On mine, it happens to be a 13/16 lug nut. Let's get them loose a little bit. Okay, I jack the car back up. Go ahead and get off the ground at this point. Just have it on the ground so you can break your lug nuts free. And take them all the way off. I know this is probably mundane for a lot of people, but I just like to explain everything from the beginning to the end. For newbies or people who don't know really, But anybody can do these jobs. Just gotta have patience. And with these older cars, you gotta fight rust. Well, here in Ohio, where I'm at, you do. We get all the salt and the snow, and it really eats the metal alive. You can almost hear it. Remove the tire, set it aside somewhere. Yeah, I can feel it wobbling inside of there. Alright, so there's a lot of crud around this thing. I'm going to have a hard time getting this rotor off. But anyhow, first thing you got to do is remove this caliper. Let's see if I can move this so I can give you a better view here of what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to remove these caliper bolts. There's one at the bottom, one up top here. I don't know the size yet, so just give me a second. It's a little too tight. Looks like a 14 millimeter, but that sucker is really tight on there. Just curious. It's a 9/16 actually. A 14 millimeter is really, really tight. So I am going to use a 6.9/16 to get that off. Oh, and I got the wrong ratchet. I'll move this light too so you can see better. Hopefully that helps. Now I didn't spray anything down with oh, what's it called? I can't think of it. Penetrating oil, PB Blaster. I didn't do that yet, so I'm hoping I can get through most of this without it. Yep, that came right off. I'm surprised actually. Actually, you could just remove the brackets on the back. And they are gonna, there's 2 bolts on the back to hold the whole caliper in there. And they are gonna be right here. There's one. I know it's tough to see with. So I think I'm gonna change plans and change that, or pull those nuts off instead on the back. If I get the camera to tighten up. Alright. So let me figure out what size bolts those are. A lot smaller than I thought they were. I think they're also 9/16. They are, huh? Alright. Unless you're changing the brake pads, you don't need to pull that caliper from the bracket, which I'm not doing because I'm not changing the brakes. Sorry, this is a real-time video. Oh boy, those are pretty tight. Well, oh, banged my wrist, but it did break loose. So the top one's loose. There's going to be one on the bottom, right around here. That one's going to be difficult to get to, but I'm on it with the 3-inch ratchet. So let's hurt my arm again. Oh, okay. Take these 2 all the way out. Hopefully I'm not blocking it with my knee. I always like to start at the bottom. It's going to take quite a few turns to get it out, but there it is. They're not that long, just very fine threads. So it seems like they're long. Go with the top one. Same size as the other one. Just a fine thread, so it seems like it's much longer. And then you can pull this off. just like that. My brakes are shot, but pads ain't too bad, really. Got a lot of pad on there. This is an old beater car for me, so I'm not too worried about it. Try to set this somewhere where it's not going to be pulling on this hose, because this car is, what, 15 years old, and this hose may be getting brittle at that age. So you don't want this hanging by the hose, or it's going to crack on you. And those are not easy. Now, they're easy to change, just a pain in the butt. So what I'm going to do is grab a toolbox that's somewhat of a good height, slide under here. So I'm going to set this caliper down on top of it so there's no tension on that hose. Like that. I know this is going to be my problem here, getting this rotor off. Because all around here, it's all crusted with rust and everything. So I'm going to give it a good whack with a big hammer a couple times. So let me grab it. Hopefully this works. So you might want to turn your volume down for this if you got earbuds in. There we go. It broke loose. Just pull it straight off. Ooh. Good time to inspect your rotor. You can see here mine is pretty shot. See all them lines and grooves in there? It means it's time for a new rotor and pads. Now's the time to do it. So anyway, with this new see, I got the new one right here. I'm going to pull it out and look at it real quick. I'll show it to the camera. And we got it taped close. So, here's our new one here. You can see on the back there's 4 holes for bolts to go through. And they come in through the back here. This is for your ABS. It's for a sensor to read that. So we got to come from the back side here. And that's why I want to look at it. I want to see if there was 3 or 4 of them. Some of them are 3. This one happens to be 4. So, you gotta figure out what size that bolt head is on the back. It might even be a 9/16 again. It is. And these may give me trouble because they get exposed to all the salt and road grime. Oh, I cut my arm in that last bolt. Alright, I gotta stand up to get some more leverage. Hopefully my knee isn't blocking the shot. I wouldn't want you to miss me hurting myself. There it goes. Alright. They're in there tight with rust. They will come out. Oh, when I was doing that, this part here is what's actually, I don't know if it's showing up or not, because it's such a fine movement. But that's what's loose in there. It's not making noise, but I can even see it wobbling as I'm turning it. What happened was I hit it. Here in Cleveland, Ohio, we have real bad roads in the wintertime. With the cold and warm, hot days, asphalt contracts and expands. And then the plow trucks come through when it snows. And they just rip huge chunks out of the road. And I was driving at night. And I happened to hit one on this side of the car. And I knew it immediately. Oh, those are some long bolts. Immediately the car started like it was driving like it had a rear wheel steering in it. Just all bad news. All over the road. It made it pretty dangerous. Every little bump after that, the car was fishtailing in the back, only at 25 miles an hour. So it made it real dangerous driving it like that. It actually kind of frightened me, and I'm a four-wheeling guy. You know, I'm not afraid of hitting trees and rolling the Jeep down a hill or nothing. But driving this thing was scary with this wheel bearing being the way it was. Alright, that one's out. Actually very clean on the shank of the thing. I'm surprised. Alright, get in and find your next ones, which I can't see very well. Okay. I was kind of feeling around for them. I can't see them too good, but I can feel them. Just to mention again, I'll put in the description. This is a 2005 Dodge Stratus RT. Two-door. I'm going to need a pipe to get more leverage on that, so give me 1 second, please. Not much of a pipe, but it'll give me a little bit more leverage. If you can get a 1/2 inch ratchet in there, that would be better, give you more leverage. But that one's loose. Just back it out. But I haven't seen too many videos on YouTube about the Dodge. There is a ton of them about the Dodge Stratus, but not the Dodge Stratus RT. This is like the sport model of the Stratus. Slipped out the bolt and I can't get it back. There it goes. Couldn't find it. But after this, it should come right out of there. One more bolt first. Alright, so my fourth and final bolt. Just kind of feel for it. I can't see because the knuckle's in the way. Sorry if I'm blocking a shot there. I just got to hold the back side of this so I don't hurt myself too bad. Alright, the last one was the easiest one to come off. Get the pipe off. Find the bolt again. Okay, I'm on it. Oh, and it fell right out. Nice. Okay, so right off the bat, I could tell you they gave me the wrong bearing. See the look of this one? Now look at that one. I guess I could pop that off of there with a gear puller or something. I do have one. Because it's not going to go back in there, I don't think. If it does, I'll leave it on there. Will it sit back far enough? I think that it will. So I am actually going to leave it on. It's not rubbing. Try to be careful at this point because with this emergency brake pads in here, you want to knock them loose and have all these springs and stuff pop off. I'll do another video on that one day. So just cleaning that off. Oh, I got oh, I forgot. Okay, there's a bolt still in there. Alright, so I'm going to put this in. Kind of on the same pattern that's already worn in there. I'll show you here. You can see the dirt pattern. See how it's flat at the bottom there? And up here, it's rounded at the top. And if you look here, that side's rounded, this side's flat. So I'm going to put it back just the same way that it was. So you got clearance for your brake shoe parts here. Get you a better view here what I'm doing. Alright, just line your holes up best you can. Grab your new wheel bearing hub assembly. Set it back in the same kind of dirt pattern. It's already worn in there. And I got one bolt in there already. I'm going to get it started by hand. I shouldn't have pulled it all the way out. You're going to have to wiggle it around a little bit and spin the nut the bolt at the same time to get it to grab. Alright, I think that one started a little bit. I want to get another one before I let it go. Put them back in the same way they came out. Alright, that one. I can only get it to spin by fingers with like maybe one turn before I started getting real tight. I couldn't turn it no more with my fingers. Same with this one. Actually, that one's spinning on pretty easy. Grab my fourth and final one. Now, if you want to torque these down, I'm not going to. Because like I said, this car's old. It's a beater car. And all I need it for is for driving to work and run around town. And I live so close to work that I don't even take the highway. I'm there in 5 minutes. Alright, and go back and tighten them up in a crisscross pattern from corner to corner. Just so it seats in there nice. Let's start the bottom corner. Bottom rear corner here. And just snug it up. So I'm going to draw the other side in on the top corner on this side. Whoops. You want to draw it in so it sits flat against that knuckle there. Oh, but I was saying, if you want to torque these down, these are 75 foot-pounds. Oh, it switched on me. I was actually loosening it. So snug it up. Come to the other one. The top one on this side. Like I said, it's a pretty easy job. Anybody can do this, as long as you have patience and a piece of pipe to fit over the end of your ratchet so you get more leverage on these rusty bolts. But if you're in Arizona or something where you get no rain or snow, you don't have to worry about that. It should come right off. Normally I would put anti-seize on these bolts too. but I just happened to forget I have it here. But I'm already this far, and I don't want to make the video that much longer. But 75 foot-pounds is probably one ugga. Come back to the other corner opposite of that one. Tighten it up. Give it a good ugga. Wait, a little more. Right there. Okay. Come back to the opposite corner of that one. Or no. Across from that one, actually. Wait, did I already do this one? Maybe I... Okay, yeah, this is the one I need to be on. Alright, one more to go. I can't see from this side, I can feel it. Alright, and then I'm going to go back and check all these in a circle pattern coming around, just to make sure they're all kind of even. Oh, that one's still a little loose. See, that's why I always come back and check. Because as you're drawing these 4 bolts in, it kind of wobbles its way into the nice flat plate. So go around and check them all again. Or torque them down again. If you want to use a torque wrench. This car's got 200,000 miles on it. Still running good, but I don't know how many more years I'm going to have it. Alright, that's it for that. And it doesn't wobble when I spin it. Before, I'm looking at this outer edge here, and I could see it like wobbling like this as I was turning it. So, I should be good to go again. Let's see, brake rotor. Oh, where I set it down at. Here we go here. Brake rotor. You just line it up over the lug nuts. Push it till it goes back. It just sits on there. It doesn't bolt on or nothing. Let me get my little chair here because I'm hurting my legs. Then you can put your caliper back on. Everything is 9/16. You don't need nothing else except 13/16 for the lug nuts. But all these bolts are 9/16. So grab your caliper. If you didn't change your brakes, you could put this right back on. Hopefully. But the deal is here. There's a threaded hole here. There's a threaded hole here. These bolts got to come in from the back side. So you got to line up this hole with the top hole. First on the back. You can push those that cylinder back first to make this easier on yourself. Yeah, I might have to. I might have to take these pads out and push that cylinder back with a clamp. I was just trying to get through this without having to do that. Ah, there we go. It's going. There we go. Voila. So I'll take my bolt and the little short ones from earlier. Come from the back side. And when you're doing this, you're doing it blindly. So you kind of wiggle this caliper back and forth. You feel the hole. The bolt kind of line up with the hole. Oh, I got about 1 turn on it. Grab your next one and go for that bottom hole. Which that one is a little tighter to get to because there's a hose hose there. So regular caliper again. There it goes. You'll feel it find its way to the hole. Come on now. Okay, I got it. A couple finger turns in there. And I'm going to need this to be longer because there's parts in the way. So you put an extension on your ratchet. Take your 9/16. Make sure you're on the tightening. Find that bottom bolt. Again, I'm doing this blindly. I can't see the bolt. Just snug her down. They're not long bolts, but they're just very fine thread, so it takes a while to get that thread all the way engaged. Oh, I can't find the bolt. There it is, okay. Top here. Hopefully I'm not in the way. Alright, I'm gonna give this a good ugga. Ugga. Good enough. You don't go crazy on these ones. I don't know the torque spec on this. One ugga is good enough. Ugga. Okay. That's it. Now, this is going to sound like it's dragging, I know, because it's not. There it goes. Okay. Because my brake rotors are shot, so it's not wobbling anymore, which I'm happy with. And this may be loose down at the bottom here. See that play? That will tighten back up when you get the tire back on and pump your brakes for the first time with the engine not running. You know, push that piston together and the brake pads together. That piston will come out, the brake pads will squeeze together, and this will tighten right up. You could do it now if you wanted to, but no sense in doing it right now, not for me. So I'm going to put my tool back in the case real quick so I don't lose anything. Very meticulous about my tools. Let's see, did I forget anything? Actually, yeah, I did. Because I started with that bolt and I thought I was going to take it off, but I never did. Well, I'm glad you said something. I would have forgot that.